This is the DJI Osmo Mobile 8P, the best vlogging companion for you whether you're shooting on an iPhone or on an Android. When I first started shooting with just my iPhone, my footage always looked so shaky, my arm got super tired, and all my shots looked pretty repetitive.
We're just having fun.
First off, huge thank you to DJI for sending over this gimbal because it genuinely proved to be a game changer for my vlogs. I have the creator combo right here, which comes with the gimbal itself, the DJI Mic Mini 2 because clear audio is half the battle for your vlogs, and an iPhone mic receiver. Though this gimbal also has full compatibility with Android on top of iOS. This is the gimbal with the multifunctional tracking module too, the magnetic phone clamp, and the frame tap remote already attached. Don't worry, I'll break down exactly how all of these work as we go. So as you can see, the whole thing folds down super neatly so it'll slide into whatever bag you throw it in. And once you unfold it, it powers on automatically. Alright, I'm gonna clamp my iPhone on right here and let's start filming. Let's start with some simple movements. Now imagine you want to film what is right in front of you while pushing forward into the scene. This is an entry-level move, so you can easily hold the whole gimbal with just one hand. If you have a subject in frame, keep them right in the center to draw your viewer's focus straight to them. To give you an idea of this gimbal's smoothness, we've got two iPhones here. The one on the left is mounted on the gimbal, while the other is completely handheld. This first clip is on the ultra-wide camera, and while both look pretty solid, the DJI keeps the horizon completely leveled. Next up is the main lens. This is just a casual walk, a classic shot you'd use for daily vlogs or exploring a new city. As you can see, both phones fare pretty much the same as in the previous shot. But this is what really makes a massive difference for me and why I personally love shooting with a gimbal. This exact same walk on the telephoto lens gets super shaky on the handheld iPhone, while the gimbal's footage looks ridiculously cinematic. Pretty impressive, right? And it takes practically zero effort. Now, this level of stability comes down to the 3-axis stabilization, but it can't work miracles on its own. You still need to soften your steps and bend your knees slightly, letting your arms act like an extension of the gimbal itself. Let's try another style of move, a tracking shot, where you're following a person moving in front of you. Normally, you would grab your iPhone, stare at the viewfinder the whole time, and desperately try to keep things steady while keeping your subject centered. Well, this DJI gimbal features smart tracking. It locks your subject right in frame using DJI's Active Track 8, which lives inside the DJI Mimo app. You have a few different ways to trigger it: a single press on the rear trigger, clicking the joystick, or selecting the person, or even your pet on the app. Alright, let's go for a run. This is a much more demanding shot to pull off. As you can see, smart tracking lets you focus entirely on your path ahead instead of trying to watch the screen, your subject, or where you're actually stepping all at once. Looking at these side-by-side clips, you can see that the handheld iPhone just cannot keep up here. I don't personally film high-speed running shots like this very often, but seeing how well it handles this extreme stress test means your everyday walking vlogs will be absolute rock solid. If you are a solo creator like me, I'm sure that you faced this problem. You want to shoot with your phone's best camera, which obviously is at the back, but then you can't see your framing. I'll show you how to fix that. Okay, let's set the gimbal down right here. As you can see, it also has a built-in tripod. Now imagine you're traveling and want a dynamic shot of yourself walking past with the scenery opening up behind you. With this setup, you can wirelessly mirror your phone screen right onto this detachable panel, the frame tap. Just follow these 2 quick steps in the app, slide the module off, and suddenly you can control the gimbal from up to 10 meters away. You can also check your framing and trigger smart tracking. If you do get the tracking module, it gets even simpler. Just swipe in from the left edge of the frame tap to reveal a live preview of what the module sees, where you can also select whatever you want to track, not only people, but objects too. Now, while this shot looks nice, remember how I mentioned earlier that zoom makes everything look more cinematic. If you want a compressed shot without moving your tripod setup, just zoom in using the remote control and trigger tracking again to get this dynamic result. For all you travel creators out there, here are a few of my absolute favorite shots. First up is the surround shot, which you can pull right up from this menu. I love using this because it really immerses your audience in the location. Plus, you can extend the built-in rod to get a higher, almost drone-like angle. Alternatively, if you are doing a tour-style vlog, you can take advantage of the gimbal's full 360-degree pan. With smart tracking turned on, you can focus on delivering your commentary and let the gimbal just follow you all the way around. One last kind of shot that I also really like is this low height shot panning upwards. For this one, you can just tilt the top part of the gimbal and hold the trigger to lock the points of view. And you only have to pan upwards, easy as that. Now it's your turn to create your very own shots, but don't worry, these next few details will help you jumpstart your ideas. Let's circle back to the frame tap display. Two of the most important controls for me are, first of all, the gimbal follow modes, which dictate how the motors respond as you move. I keep mine in pan and tilt mode most of the time because it gives me these smooth, organic camera movements when I'm tracking a subject. The second feature I rely on constantly is the fill light, which you can turn on by swiping down on the control center. This is an absolute game changer for evening shots. I also use it as a quick fill light when I'm backlit so that my face doesn't turn into a dark silhouette. And unlike your phone's built-in flash, you can tune both the brightness and the color temperature to keep your skin tones looking very natural. But honestly, I mostly use the frame tap to tweak how my framing actually looks after setting the gimbal down. That way, you don't have to overthink every single detail beforehand. You can just dial it in on the fly. Now, we already talked about smart tracking and how this is also a secret weapon for you solo creators trying to do some complex shots on your own. But I want to add that this smart tracking works even if you or your subject briefly get blocked by something in the foreground. That means you won't have to reselect or retrack every single time someone momentarily disappears behind a tree or a wall. Plus, if your content leans more toward product reviews or unboxings, you can also lock tracking directly onto objects. The gimbal will keep the product perfectly centered no matter how much you move it around, so you won't have to resort to a wide static shot where the item looks tiny in the frame. So overall, this has been a really clever tool for injecting dynamic movement and buttery smoothness into my personal vlogs. The battery performance has also been really great, easily lasting through full shooting days. Plus, once I wrap up a shoot, I love using the gimbal's remaining charge to juice up my phone so that I can edit and post straight to my socials on the spot. Now, you've probably seen plenty of hype around dedicated vlog cameras like the DJI Pocket 4P, but this entire setup in the creator combo only costs $219. That gets you everything you need right out of the box: the gimbal, the AI tracker module, and the wireless mics. For my money, that makes this a much smarter long-term investment than a Pocket 4P. Whenever you upgrade your phone to a model with better sensors and optics, you just snap it onto the gimbal, whereas you would be stuck with whatever camera is built into a Pocket 4P. I really hope that these practical tutorials sparked some fresh ideas so that you can go out and elevate your own content. But before you head off to the DJI store, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and make sure to hit subscribe because we're always testing the latest tech to help you make the best choice. We'll see you in our next video, and until then, take care.